If you're a software engineer and you want to create content, take this video as your sign to start doing it. Hello everyone and welcome again to my channel. My name is Carla and today I'm here to talk about creating content as a software engineer. Honestly, I think this video is actually more for myself than it is for you. I actually wrote a blog post about this a few years ago and now I felt I need to translate this into YouTube, not only because it's an easier way to create content, but also because I kind of need the inspiration. So let's talk a little bit about what can you do to start to create content as a software developer. And I think I already kind of said it, but the first time that I personally do is to find inspiration. It is okay for you to look at other people's channels or blog posts and see what they're talking about, how they communicate. And I'm not saying you have to copy them, that's of course not the case, but you can always get a little bit of inspiration of what they're talking about. For example, I'm actually very active on Twitter and I follow a bunch of people there from the tech world. Every time they post something, I actually enjoy consuming that content, but I also take a few ideas from them. Someone who I think it's really good at creating content is James Quick. If you haven't checked his channel, I highly recommend that you do. He creates content for you to start learning React or JavaScript, and he also shares tips on how to get better at programming in general. Another content creator that I really like getting inspiration from is Abdaal. He shares a bunch of tips on YouTube, actually, productivity, and a lot of things, and it's pretty interesting. So I do get a lot of ideas from my own videos from him. The next thing you can do is to define your channel. And by channel, I mean, what is the way you want to communicate with your audience? Do you want to do it on blog posts? You want to create a video? You want to do it through a podcast? This decision is completely up to you and what you feel most comfortable with. I remember that back when I wrote the blog post that covers the same topic, I said that I was not going to do video because I didn't feel comfortable and so on, and here I am a few years later doing that. So it really depends on how you feel. For me, writing is actually the most comfortable that I feel. So for me, it's just easier to express my ideas. So actually, when I'm even recording YouTube videos, I create a little script which kind of sounds like a blog post, and that can maybe be translated into a blog post. So just choose the channel that you feel most comfortable with. Another thing to do is to define who are you talking to? Who is your audience? Are you talking to experienced software engineers? Are you talking to beginners, mid-levels? Who is that persona that will be listening to you or reading you? So in my case, I've noticed that I'm always creating content for either beginners or a version of myself but 10 years ago. So not necessarily beginners, but people who are trying to gain more experience in the industry and are looking to learn from others. Another thing that is important when creating content is to keep track of your own ideas. I think I have my notes app full of different ideas that I use for blog posts, videos, and most of them I've never done anything with, but I have them there. So just keep in mind to have a quick way to write an idea when you have it. Even if you think that that idea might not worth sharing, write it down, because eventually you might find a way to add your own voice to it, or even a different value that you can add to something that already exists. Last but not least, and this is actually for myself, just start creating. You're never gonna get better if you don't actually start. We're very lucky to be part of a community that actually appreciates a lot the content creation. And even if your content doesn't reach millions and thousands of people, at least you were able to get that out of your mind and you learned something along the way. So after you've defined your audience and your channel, the only thing left is the content that you're actually gonna share. For a video, for example, you can write a script, or if you're good at improvising, then you can do that. I'm definitely not. This is all. I have a bunch of bullet points of things that I want to share here, so completely up to you. Also, if you're thinking about writing a blog post, just write that first draft. Even if you're not happy with how you're saying things or how it's coming along, just start writing and give it a couple of reviews so you can improve them every time you revisit them. Now, the last thing, which is the hardest one for me, is to make your content public. And this is hard because I don't know about you, but I deal a lot with imposter syndrome, and I'll probably talk about that in another video. So I'm never 100% happy with the content, or I'm always doubting myself if what I'm saying actually makes sense or if adds any value. So this video is actually an opportunity for me to learn from that and to overcome imposter syndrome. Now, I'm no content creator expert, I'm just starting. I thought that I've been overthinking this for a long time, so it was just time to do it and learn things along the way. Maybe in a few years I come back to this video, and with all that learning I decide to do a redo and learn from that, so you'll realize that it was worth sharing that content in the past. Now hopefully after watching this video you are motivated to start your content creation and inspire other developers. If you like this video, make sure to click on the subscribe button and leave a comment or a like. Thanks for watching.